Hey everyone, and welcome to the Dota 2 Builds of the Week, a weekly series where I show you guys top meta builds to help you get started with new heroes in Dota 2. This week we're talking about 5 heroes, each of the 5 positions 1 through 5, and we're starting with Sven. Before we get started though, let me know in the comments what you guys think of this series so far. It's a brand new series, this is only episode number 2, and I would love to get your feedback so I can make the series better. I'm also going to let you know that down below, linked in the description, will be in-game guides for each of these that will be available. So if you click the link, it'll take you to a page where you can sub on the Steam Workshop and then use these guides in game. When we talk about Sven is the position 1 that is currently dominating the meta. It kind of comes hand in hand with the idea that Sven is just simply capable of blowing up an entire team. The skill build is relatively straightforward. You're going to be speccing Stormhammer at level 1. You want that stun. You want that ability to lock down someone during the bounty stage as well. Then you're going to be building towards your Great Cleave. The reason why you want to max out your Great Cleave first is because, first of all, it gives very good returns, ultimately at 100% cleave damage, which is fantastic. It also helps you farm significantly faster. You're going to take value points in Warcry roughly around the time where you're going to be taking your +3 Warcry duration as a talent at level 10. Of course, you're taking your God Strength, which is absolutely fantastic, but with regards to the overall build and your skills, you are building in a way that's going to allow you to farm very rapidly while having some kill potential early in the lane, and then have teamfight potential with Warcry. The talents are statistically chosen to give you an opportunity to win more games. These are the talents that are actually statistically better at winning. A lot of players are taking the attack speed talent to farm faster, but ironically, the Warcry duration has a very significant increase on win percentage. In terms of starting items, you're going with your usual, you want some health sustain, you want a quelling blade, and you want the raw stats so you can last hit. In order to help you farm faster, you're going to go power treads into Mask of Madness. Be aware that Mask of Madness does silence you and reduce your armor, so you want to cast your abilities first and then cast your Mask of Madness. You don't want to Mask of Madness and find yourself completely vulnerable and unable to cast anything, right? A common new player mistake. You want the Echo Saber. Not only is it giving you the mana regeneration that is necessary to kind of sustain your movement throughout the map so you can gank and be effective, but also gives you an immediate Echo Strike, which really helps you when you ultimately build Blinks and into Silver's Edge. The new Silver's Edge is absolutely fantastic on Sven. It allows you to basically get up on an opponent and blow them up completely. And it's been truly remarkable the amount of burst damage with an Echo Saber and a Silver's Edge that Sven is capable of doing. Not to mention the initiation capabilities of Blink Dagger and obviously the escape BKB, because BKB, the only way that Sven can really be dealt with is if he's locked down, stunned, rooted, or whatever it is. BKB allows him, in addition with Warcry and your Silver's Edge and your Blink Dagger, and of course your Mask of Madness, to basically kind of get on top of people, stick on them, and take them down. Optional items include your Magic Wand, if you're against Bristleback or anything that kind of spams spells. Skywrath Mage's example. Your Agnum Scepter is a great utility item later in the game as well. Sanjin Yasha, Satanic, Daedalus, if you really want people just to explode around you on initiation. And finally, Assault Cuirass, which kind of cures some of the armor issues that Sven may have. It also allows him to be an excellent trader. And also, the major thing about Sven is that Sven is one of those heroes that really kind of is benefiting from the lack of armor talents as well. Armor in Dota completely is harder to come by, so therefore Sven is having a great time as a right clicker, and the Assault Cuirass, which reduces enemy armor and increases your attack rate and armor, allows him to basically trade infinitely with pretty much anybody. Let's talk about hero number 2. When we're talking about position 2 mid, we've got to talk about Sniper. Sniper has seen a major resurgence in the current meta, but primarily at lower MMRs. Higher MMRs, he's better, but however, most players at higher MMRs really know how to deal with a Sniper. They know how to counter-initiate on top of him. They counter-pick him with Spectres and other people that can get on top of him and stick to him. But at lower MMRs, players are less capable of that, and the result is a Sniper that has a very significant win rate. In fact, he's winning 53% of the time, which is a huge increase over the mid to high 40s he had before the current patch. what you're seeing here is the primary meta build is actually going more towards Shrapnel. Again, this is for mid. Basically, this is the highest percentage winning build where you start with Headshot so that you can do some additional damage, get some additional, chance to proc that as well. But the major thing is you're going to use Shrapnel 2 and 3 in order to kind of clear waves very effectively. With Sniper, what you want to do in mid is you want to push the wave into the enemy tower, farm the neutral camps next to your small camp next to your lane, and then move back, clear, push them. And what it basically does is as long as you're pushing the wave into the mid tower, it prevents the opponent from ever being able to leave, because if they leave, what happens is they lose that entire creep wave under tower, which is really detrimental to their game. You then take aim, which is very important as well. Assassinate, of course. With your purchase order at your starting items, what you want to focus on is getting as many statistical items as you can. You're taking the Fairy Fighter for the Fairy Fire, for damage. You are also focusing in on Slippers of Agility, so you can boost your damage. As a sniper, you're relatively safe from a distance, but your last hitting potential is really low. You have like horrible damage right clicking, but you have the fastest projectile in the game. So if you can increase your damage potential, you can last hit better. You want to go with a Wraith Band, because as a sniper, you want to be very active. You want to be, hitting people from a distance. You can do a tremendous amount of damage. You're going to go your Power Treads into Dragon Lance, and then you are going to go into your Maelstrom, Hurricane Pike, so that you can obviously distance and protect yourself from initiations, and into Mjolnir, which is the current meta build, and finishing it off with Satanic, because in the late game you do so much incredible damage that the Satanic will basically help you be propped up in the event that you're initiated on, which allows you to Hurricane Pike and then heal yourself all the way back up. Now, there are some optional items. BKB, if you're being stunned and initiated on, is very valuable for survival. MKB might... Okay, so in most cases, you're building Maelstrom and Mjolnir because of the farming potential and the damage potential with your attack speed. However, it's worth saying that if you're against like a PA or anybody that has evasion built in, MKB is a great alternate to the Maelstrom. Like if you're not against a PL or Illusion Hero, Chaos Knight or anything like that, you can actually prioritize the MKB over the Maelstrom. It's a decision you can make. Daedalus is a great luxury item. I would not build a Daedalus over a Maelstrom or an MKB, but if you have the luxury of being completely rich and like farmed, then Daedalus, Desolator, and Eye of Skadi is definitely preferable. And you're seeing some fringe cases where the Silver's Edge is being used very effectively as well. Talent Tree, as I mentioned before, is mainly around Shrapnel, except at level 25, where you're going to want that safety of the additional attack range. All of these are high statistic winning picks. In the off lane, much like Lycan last week, Beastmaster continues to dominate as the Zoom meta has a continuously strong presence. They play very similarly. However, there's some significant differences in the way they actually scale into the late game. Lycan tends to scale as a 1v1 damage dealing monster, whereas Beastmaster tends to activate his team more. With the use of Inner Beast, you want to be team fight centric as a Beastmaster. You want to be around your team because they gain so much benefit from your aura that if you're kind of off by yourself split pushing all the time, right, there are benefits to that, but fighting with your team has a significant benefit. You are focusing in on your skills as you're going to spec Wild Boar and Inner Beast first. The reason for this is because the Wild Boar simply does a tremendous amount of damage and scales very effectively. It actually got buffed in 7.30b, so you really want to have that kind of constant pressure on the enemy. And along with Inner Beast, which obviously affects all your allied units, including your creeps, it allows you to push down that first tier 1 tower and basically push the enemy position 1 into the jungle, where then you can then invade and cause problems as well. You want to take that tower within the first 10 minutes. You want to push it as aggressively as you can, that's primarily what you're after. Now, this is pretty much straightforward. Talent build, you go in movement speed into the health of your minions, board damage, and the Inner Beast attack speed. All of these high percentage winning talents. But what's interesting here is the build-up for Beastmaster. Now, it's a little risky, but what you're seeing at the pro level here is a build-up that starts with your Tango and your Quelling Blade. Some players are even skipping skipping Tango and just going a naked Quelling Blade. And the reason for this is they're going right into the Helm of the Dominator, starting with the Helm of Iron Will, which is going to provide you with health and armor. So you're basically getting additional health regeneration every second, a significant amount of armor, and the result of that is it's very hard to trade and kill a Beastmaster with a Helm of Iron Will at like 3 minutes, because it's too much it's too much sustain. You just don't have that burst potential. And it allows you to get your timing faster. You get the Helm of the Dominator. It kind of times nicely with your Inner Beast, your Wild Boar. And next thing you know it, you have a wave of minions, catapult wave coming, and you just take the tower down at like 6 minutes. It's a great feeling. It's a great timing. You're going to go brown boots into your Helm of the Overlord, one of the most overpowered in the game items in the game right now. It allows you to take a, usually people are going after the dragon ancient creeps so that you can kind of cut waves with its kind of fireball breath. But at the end of the day, right, you want to push as strong as you can. You want to create as much map pressure as you can. You want to force the team to rotate on you, and Drums of Endurance allows you to do that. Not only does it benefit, your entire team, which is, a lot of carries right now, the Svens and the Medusas, the right clickers, and the Drums of Endurance along with your Inner Beast allows you to basically just push and punish so rapidly with Beastmaster because of the raw attack speed that you're giving your allies. And then from there you're gonna go Blink Dagger, so you can initiate on kind of vulnerable targets and carries using Primal Roar. Like for instance, Sniper is countered by a Beastmaster with Blink Dagger. Sniper's in the back, you blink on top of Sniper, you Primal Roar, everyone murders Sniper. Okay, Sniper can't do anything, even pierces BKB. Now, if you want to push and you're finding more success pushing, you can prioritize something like Assault Cuirass over the Blink Dagger. You can get the Assault Cuirass, which once again gives the benefit of attack speed to all your allies and your minions as well, including your Ancient from your Helm of the Overlord and your Boars. So again, Beastmaster is all about improving the raw attack speed of your allies, including all the coordinator's down, including all of the the minions you have to your disposal. And at the end of the day, right, if you want to scale well into the late game, there's also the build where you can go Agnum Scepter and Aether Lens with your Wild Axes, which I've actually really enjoyed. So once you get some of your core items and you're doing really well and the game goes a little longer, Beastmaster tends to fall off his power spike in the late game and just kind of gets blown up. But if you can use your Agnums and Aether Lens to basically kind of utilize your Wild Axes very effectively, you have a little more staying power in the late game. Let's talk about soft support position 4 next. As a soft support position 4, Skywrath Mage is seeing a significant resurgence in the meta, mainly due to his single hero kill potential and his ability to carry the mid game. And the build is relatively straightforward. You're going to be specking Concussive Shot as your bread and butter, but then you're going to be taking Value Point in Arcane Shot, and then focusing on getting your Ancient Shield and Ancient Seal, and your Concussive Shot to max level ASAP. The silence is absolutely devastating, and once again, the talents being selected in a way that provides you with the highest statistical win percentage, which includes more health, Ancient Seal cooldown reduction, and Ancient Seal magic reduction, magic resistance reduction. So Magic Seal being a huge part of the kit, the silence, the cooldown reduction, and everything else makes Skywrath Mage an excellent support with a lot of kill potential, especially since Mystic Flare was buffed to provide more damage faster in the latest patch. With regards to his item builds, there's a little bit of flexibility here. So what you want to do is you want to start with some mana regeneration. You're going to be going dual Null Talisman. You want this spell amplification as a position 4. You're likely going to be holding these Null Talisman for the entire game. You want the mana regen, you want the spell amplification, the intelligence is valuable as well. What you also want here is a Sentry Ward in order to block the small camp of your enemy. You're going to be buying a lot of clarities, so you're going to want to start with one as well so you can harass. With regards to your boots, this is your decision to make. So Tranquils are pretty good because they're inexpensive and they will provide you with a lot of added sustain. And the nice thing about Tranquils as well is that you can basically roam effectively and not have to worry about your HP. You're gonna have to buy some clarities to top yourself off. However, if you choose, you can do something to sustain your mana more effectively. Infused Raindrops, but primarily a lot of people are interested in going Arcane Boots. They were recently buffed. They are about 400 gold more expensive than your Tranquil Boots, but the added mana is very beneficial. Now, you have a choice. You can go Arcane Boots into Aether Lens and then make your Tranquil Boots after, but it ultimately slows down your build. Most pro players and players at higher MRs, what they're doing is they're going Tranquils, buying clarities, and then trying to get to Rod of Ados faster. Rod of Ados is an item that really activates Skywrath Mage with his Rod of Ados into Mystic Flare combo. So the 400 gold you save on Tranquil Boots is 400 gold that you put towards the Rod of Ados and the crowns that come with it, which give you a lot of statistics. So Statistically, this is the most successful build, and then you go to an Aether Lens, and you basically, at that point, you have enough mana regeneration and intelligence anyway. You don't need the mana from the Arcane Boots. So that is the justification for that build. From there, right, Ghost Scepter if you're being initiated on, Force Staff you're being initiated on, you want to save your allies. Glimmer, same thing, you want to save allies, and you want to kind of, you can also use Glimmer Cape to kind of like sneak on guys, Eidos them, and then Mystic Flare them as well. Aeon Disc if you need some added survivability. Scythe is a great item which gives you a ton of intelligence and provides Skywrath with some late game kind of utilization as well. Overall, a fantastic hero, one that we're seeing really shine in the current meta. Let's talk about position 5. For position 5 hard support, Lich is back. It's been a while, but Lich got significant buffs in the latest patch, and the result of that is Lich is a fantastic position 5 support once again with a ton of laning kill potential and late game theatrics with Chain Frost. The amazing thing about Lich is the improvement to Sinister Gaze has allowed Lich to just lane more effectively and overall just have a kit that just works so much better with the mana reduction and the mana cost that he's received. The nice thing about the talent build is it activates the current meta of right-clicking carries like Sven's, where you give them Frost Shields, you improve your Sinister Gaze, and of course, you're going to be improving your Frost Shield duration as well with HP regen and the outright duration. The amazing thing about Frost Shield is it really helps your right-clicking carries stick to targets because of the slow. Not only that, but it allows you to basically protect them, which is fantastic because you don't want them blowing up as they're trying to do damage. Chain Frost, everyone knows that Chain Frost is fantastic. You know, listen, Lich has a fantastic kit, and the build right now is completely rock solid. What you want to do is you want to go Ring of Basilius to give you some additional mana regeneration, Tranquil Boots into Glimmer Cape, and then what you want to do is you want to go the Aghanim Shard for the Spire into the Aghanim's Scepter. The sheer capabilities of an AoE Sinister Gaze and allowing you also to cast skills is too much to pass up. You also have the option of going stuff like Aether Lens and, you know, all the other usual things that we talk about with supports, Ghost Scepters, Aeon Discs, and others that help you for added survivability. As a reminder, all the builds I've talked about today, including Lich, is linked down below in the description. Please let me know if you have any questions, and thank you so much for watching, and a very special thank you to all of our wonderful subscribers. We will see you next week on the Dota 2 Builds of the Week.